You get paid to work, and I'm an entrepreneur. So what's the difference?
The difference
I like to go out
is
and
whether
grab.
somebody produces something of value that's sustainable. There's no value in creating a advertising-driven website that now deletes and censors content. It's no longer YouTube anymore. Yet all the people who are here because it was YouTube at one time. So now they've taken the public soapbox, they've taken the public square, they had this free place where you could express yourself. Now all the eyeballs are here, they're addicted, so they're kind of stuck, and now they've changed the rules. And so now it's not broadcast yourself, it's
I
broadcast
don't
what's in
mean to
the
be
interest
mean,
of
but
our
I think you're just mad
advertisers.
at successful people
Well,
as far
whatever.
as the
You can
internet.
think whatever you want and go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself, asshole.
Hey, don't kick him. He's not.
No, I'm gonna kick you in a minute. So what the fuck? I'll kick whoever the fuck I want. You fucking capitalist whores. I mean, if you think that the best interest of the human race is jackasses out for their self-interest and to exploit the system, I don't exactly understand how that fucking is going to work in the long-term interest of the human race.
I think it's human nature. That's all I'm saying.
Well, whether it's human nature or not, it's not something to glorify or
Well, it
defend.
might be something to defend because it might be beneficial in other regards.
I just said I don't see how it is beneficial. All I see is how
Well,
consumers
because-
get fucked. That's all I'm seeing. I'm seeing how something that was a valuable resource is turned into a pile of shit.
I think that's mostly due to a lack of revolt. Mostly.
Afford to revolt. How could the partners can't afford to revolt because they've got the audience. The non-partners are stuck because this is where the people are. So what are you going to do? Where are you going to go? You're going to go to the Blip? I mean, they censor content now too. So what the
it's
fuck
a
good are they?
monopoly, all right. It's totally a monopoly, but it's exactly like representative government. It's exactly the same fucking process. It's amazing.
Well, I don't see how it's exactly the same process because there's no open argument and debate, and
Because
there's
you
no
get
open
elected by
voting.
these fucking special interest hierarchy, secret people that just choose you because you're popular. That's fucking government. That's the exact.
Well, I don't
fucking
think it
process.
exactly is. I don't see that comparison at all. Okay, I mean, the agenda of the federal government might be owned by capitalists, but they're paid in a more direct way. I mean, that kind of corruption is more obvious
get
than
paid
this.
chicken
This
feed.
is a very subtle and malicious kind of corruption where all of a sudden you start slanting and distorting and perverting people's rights based on what's in the interest of the commercial finance providers.
Commerciality, period. But it's just a matter of not fighting back. That's all there is to it. If the user fought back more, then they would have to react, and that's all there is to it. You gotta go.
Yeah, well, I think that happens to some extent,
If you
but
wanna
it
find out about power, go fucking punch it in the face.
it's gotten punched in the face before. I mean, Jimmy Carter got elected, but whatever.
Jimmy Carter got elected by the KKK when he became governor. Did you know that? That motherfucker's a pandering
Well,
asshole.
that doesn't matter,
And he had
though.
Coca-Cola
It
in
doesn't
his
fucking matter, old hacks, because there's absolutely no credibility to any accusation that any policy or any person appointed by him had any kind of racial intent. So, I mean, he had...
What?
What, are you calling Jimmy Carter a racist? You're an idiot.
No, I'm saying he's an opportunist. He went, this racist state, and he ran all these TV ads that were really fucking like Ron Paul type racist ads, and all nationalistic, and he got elected on fucking.
Well, you'd have to show me the
ballot.
racist ad. You'd have to show me the racist ad.
That is very highly publicized. You can find that about anywhere.
Well, I'm just saying, I don't buy it as a useful argument. The fact that he had the politics of his state require him to do something to get elected doesn't have anything to do with the fact that once he had power, his administration did a lot of things to be a real thorn in the side of big business and the corporations.
Well, see, that's exactly how it is to be a partner. You pander to a bunch of people till you get like 10,000 fucking followers, subscribers, whatever, and then you get a hierarchy comes in, taps you on the shoulder, says you're it, and then you're beholden to them and your audience. It's just
but I'm just said point out to me exactly how that was the corruption of Jimmy Carter. I'm just saying that I don't see that was what the effect was. He raised taxes on the richest people. He did fight the corporation more than anybody else did.
Well, I'm not saying any flack about Jimmy Carter. I'm talking about representative government. Like him as an individual, I totally admire, but the process in which he operated in, I find despicable.
But it's only because the process gets broken. I mean, we know that George Bush had never gotten elected. We know that it would have been a different. We know it would have been a different last 10 years if Al Gore had been president. We know that. All right, so this all turns on very subtle things that make the difference, okay? I mean, if Jerry Brown would have been president, if a lot of things would have happened, there would have been a different circumstance. So, I mean, you're just arguing like, oh, it's somehow the system's broken in some... I'm arguing that, yes, we can make the democracy work better, but let's also concede that there's a very subtle difference between success and failure here. And there's just as much reason to think this could have turned a lot of good ways if just a couple of things had gone the other way.
Yeah, well, I just want to wish all of you guys, and I know it's a stupid holiday, but I just want to wish all of you guys
really
Halloween.
Stupid. Well, whatever. Who here is paying any attention to Halloween? Anybody? No. That's why they're in Stickam at whatever, 4 in the morning. So 5 in the morning.
Anyway, happy Halloween to you, Gary.
All right. Thank you very much. Blah, blah, blah. Happy anal sex day. Happy get fucked by a frog day. Let's go through all the days. Let's make it all kinds of days. Happy, let's hope an asteroid hits us day.
Gary, you know what yesterday was? It was National Oatmeal Day. No shit.
Oh, damn it. I should have had some oatmeal then, damn it.
I know.
I hate when I miss celebrating proper. I mean, damn. Oatmeal is a weird food, you know that? I mean, I don't hate oatmeal, but man, oatmeal just kind of, you eat it and it just like sits there. Like, yeah, I got oatmeal inside of me. And it's like, you kind of know you have oatmeal in you for quite a while. You know, it just kind of...
For a while, yeah. Be full on the... They give that shit to astronauts, don't they? If they don't, they should.
Yeah, grits. Yeah, I remember grits. Well, you put enough sugar on grits, they're eatable. You just have to put a lot of that brown sugar on them or something, you know, and you can eat them.
So, Gary, do you know much history about George Washington's war with Britain? Hey, drag queen, you have to mute your mic. It's not happening. You should kick that. Because it's not going to stop.
Yeah, that's true. Noisy computer fan too.
But do you know much about George Washington and his rise to power? How he fought the...
Well, I know. Yeah, I know. No, I don't know much about his rise to power, but I know he's, a tall guy, and he looked pretty on a horse, and so that's probably what it came down to. Is he had the charisma thing, but he was an asshole.
I disagree. He walked away from power, and it was an extremely important gesture at an extremely pertinent time. He walked away from power. He did not...
I don't think he had... Look, I don't think he walked away from power. He walked away because I don't think he was a fucking general, okay? He was not a politician. He wasn't a philosopher. All right, so I don't think he could compete with the Adamses and the Jeffersons and the goddamn intellectuals. All right, and I just think in that atmosphere he got lost. I mean, without somebody writing him a speech, I don't think he could handle it.
Well, he couldn't actually give speeches because he only had one tooth whenever he actually was leading the fucking charge, but that's besides the point. The way he led the soldiers was by being diligent and by knowing what he was doing was right, and because he knew what he was doing was right, he was compelled to constantly make sure that the people that were with him knew that they were fighting for a just cause as well, and that's how they won. Was knowing that
bullshit!
It was
that is just such a
and
crock
no,
of
that is
fucking
exactly
shit.
how
I'm
they
sorry,
fucking
old
won.
hacks.
No,
That doesn't
fuck you,
fit
man.
with
That's
his
how he
fucking
did it.
letters. I've read letters that he wrote. All right, and I'm sorry. There was no beautiful sentiment about how, I inspired the troops and they all are such great men and we're all going to fight for honor. I mean, he talked about them like they were the scum of the fucking earth. He hated his fucking
He hated
cheaply
the fact
purchased
that so
army.
people were willing to fight as hard as he did.
I got no comment to the hard fighting generals. Sorry. No.
What? George Washington was there on the front from day one since he was a teenager. He was in the French-American War. He was in the fucking front. He's taking bullets. That ain't no fucking general like we know. That's a real fucking out there in the fucking field killing
Yeah, well,
people
whatever.
with
I wasn't
bayonets
there,
fucking
so I
general.
can't testify to that. Okay, I'm just
Well,
testifying.
you know the fucking
I'm just
type of warfare
testifying
was
to
back
his
then, and
letters.
you know
Okay,
the
and
fucking-
his letters were pretty grotesque. That's all I got to say.
Well, humanity was pretty grotesque back then.
Well, that makes him sort of a hypocrite, then, in my opinion. So, but whatever.
He's not a hypocrite. He's like the most important figure we have on our money and in our general history.
Fiddle faddle on that one.
He's-
Benjamin Franklin was the man.
Benjamin Franklin. What did he do? Invent a clock? What did he do again?
Yeah, he went over to France and convinced them to go bankrupt to win the Revolutionary War for us. Because General Washington was a complete fuck up
They were going
and had no
bankrupt
fucking
anyway,
hope
fighting
of
war
winning the
for-
goddamn war. So they had to go out and buy themselves some real soldiers that could actually
They were going
fight.
bankrupt anyway. They were a monarchy still anyway too. So fuck all
That besides inventing stoves and inventing lightning and electricity and all the other crap that he did that. He went over to fucking France and convinced them to send a bunch of troops over here without us paying them one penny. They got all for fucking goddamn on account.
Well, that's because they saw us as a very important ally against Britain, which we proved to be.
Well, the point is that if he didn't make that trip, we wouldn't have won the war.
And France probably would have been taken over by the English Empire if we hadn't have been their ally. So
Well, whatever.
equal
The point is Benjamin Franklin was a key figure.
well,
Benjamin Franklin wasn't just a key figure. I mean, he was the figure. The guy was a statesman. He was a politician. He was an inventor. He was a writer. He was a scriber. He did pretty much every single job that you could ever think of. I mean, he invented bifocals. I mean, the guy was a fucking genius. He's a womanizer too, which was great because he was a drunkard and he used to go to different places and hit on 15-year-old chicks and hook up with them too.
Totally creep me out.
Yeah, I mean, well, I don't care if I'm creeping you or not. That's natural history.
It's
If you don't want to.
way like Gary says something and then you come in and say everything that he said again and say that Gary was right, and that you do this repeatedly.
Well, he is right if he said that he was. Well, I mean, it's objective though. It's not my opinion on it. I mean, that's the way that history writes it. So, I mean, if you have a problem with that, then you have a problem with history. It's not mine or Gary's fault.
You know what? All that shit was being invented all over the place, and he just happened